The Phoenix Cricket Club is the 5th oldest in the world, dating from 1830. When we were chiselers coming up to the park, it wasn't football or hurling we wanted. It was cricket and polo. We used to sneak in and sit beside all the white shirt, white trousered gentlemen watching the cricket. Their eyes would be focused out in front. They wouldn't even see us beside them. Well, I have the white shirt. All I need is the long of the white trousers, white shoes. And those pad yokes for going up your legs. And of course, along with a bat. And I tell you something, Mr. Packer will be looking for me. And when we got home to Inchicore and Kilmainham, we were all cricket mad. And we searching for butter boxes and orange boxes to make wickets. But those sort of wickets weren't as popular as the old wicket drawn on a wall with chalk. But then the danger was whether it was hit or not. So some fellas, to make sure it was hit, they used to wet the ball. And of course, if there be a dirty big blob in the middle of the wicket, well, there was no denying you were out. And of course, when the players would get warm, they'd take off their pullovers and hand them to the umpire, and he used to tie them around his waist. And we'd say, Mister, is that part of the game, mister? What's he doing that for, mister? Is that part of the game?
How is it?
And then, of course, when a batsman was knocked out, he'd be coming in very dejected looking, and we'd give him a little pat on the back. You are great, mister. You are great. It's a pity you were knocked out that time, mister. You are great. Yes, cricket up in the park. It's crystal clear and ice cool. Now this old well here in the Phoenix Park is called Baker's Well, but I suppose that's a name as local as Barneys Hill. The Duke of Ormond, who laid out this park, was complaining about the stomach. So he went to Dr. Edmund O'Mara, and O'Mara told him to drink a cup of spa well water every day. Now, I wonder, did the Duke of Ormond come up here? I feel like running around the 15 acres. The official name of this place is Knockmary, but the locals in the Lizard call it Barneys Hill, on account of Barney living in the house there. It's up behind the old Cheshire homes, and behind that is the spire of St. Mary's Chest Hospital. St. Mary's was originally the Hibernian Military Academy. That's where they taught young boys and sent them off to war to the green fields of France, and many of them never came home again. And there was many another poor child never even saw the green fields of France that died here at 8, 9, 10 and 11 years of age. The old dog pond. Well, I suppose like every kid in Dublin, we brought every mongrel in Dublin up here. Some of them were powerful swimmers, and others, God bless us, they nearly drowned. Well, when we were kids, there used to be an old lad who used to sit over on the far bank there with his overcoat on him. And of course, when a few American visitors would come and sit on this seat, he'd throw off the overcoat, dive in, swim across and come up the bank here. And of course, the amazed Americans would be looking at all this, and he'd tell them that not to bother that he was practicing for swimming the channel. And of course go on with the story and collect a few dollars to pay for the boat and all the gear, etc. And then of course in the gate would come the ranger. And of course old Jam would be around the bank, pick up his coat and charge up in his bed and costume all the way up the cricket ground. And then of course the next day be back again. Well, Lord rest him today and all the times that he swam across there. I don't know if he ever got around to swimming the channel, but he sure did swim the dog pond.
They're following him. Follow me.
Well, up in the dog pond, I met these wonderful boys and girls and dogs of Bridgefoot Street. And they asked me my name, and when I told them, they said they knew one of my poems. What poem?
In Dublin.
How does it, where'd you learn it?
In school, Francis Street.
And Blundrick Street.
And what way does it go?
Climb up the hill and gaze afar, and wonder stranger where you were. For ancient cobblestones lie here, sanctified by those who knew no fear. In Dublin.
Very good. And you learned that in school?
Yeah.
And you left school now?
Yeah, I'm in second job.
Your second job?
Yeah, in Emmett Road.
Oh, Emmett Road Tech.
Yeah.
What are you learning there?
I'm not going into it yet. Going in Monday.
Oh, you're going into that, and then you do your leaving there, will you?
Yeah, we're going in there and we're doing all the carpentry, woodwork and all.
And you'll be all the future scholars and tradesmen and probably doctors and barristers of Dublin, huh? Do you like the old dog pond?
Yeah. Come up here.
What's the dog's names?
Rex and Patch.
Rex and Patch. Which is Rex?
The big one.
Black and white one here.
And who's the best fella?
Rex.
Rex, is he?
Yeah.
I noticed that the white fella didn't go into the water much. He waited for the stick to come out and then he took it out, didn't he? Yeah. Okay, get him in once more for a round off. Rex and Patch. Okay? The Irish Ordnance Survey. The word ordnance is French origin, army, artillery, personnel. The Ordnance Survey are here since 1825. The house was built by Luke Gardner. Luke was the keeper of Castleknock Gate. His son Charles became Lord Mountjoy, was actually killed in the Battle of 1798. In 1812, it was Mountjoy Cavalry Barracks, and every morning and afternoon sent a mounted escort across to the Viceregal Lodge. The first survey was carried out by Sir William Petty, but he was a chief in Cromwell's army, and his fame became known in 1665 as the Down Survey. Mapping today is greatly changed from the days of Sir William Petty with his stone tablets and copper plate. There were 3 sets of Petty's surveys, one in London, one in Dublin, and one with Petty. So Petty decided to send his across England for safekeeping, and sure wasn't it captured by French pirates, and it's in Paris today. The London copy was burned in a fire in the Tower of London Surveyor General's office in 1711. And the Dublin copy was burned in the fire in the forecourts in 1922. But sure, as my good friend, the late Kevin Brennan, who worked in the Ordnance Survey and was a great lover of old Dublin, used to say, sure, now that we're in the EEC, maybe the French will give us back the originals. Did you ever notice the different types of grass in the Phoenix Park? Bishop Stillingfleet said one time that the finest mutton he ever tasted was from sheep reared on dog-tailed grass. Well, actually, it was the second best mutton. The best, he said, was sheep reared on purple, silver-bent, fine-bent, silver hair and dog-tail combined. And who was Stillingfleet? Stillingfleet was a man who collected so many books that he had the finest private library in the world. Over 10,000 volumes. And where are they all today? They're all in the heart of the Liberties, in Marsh's library. Because Archbishop Marsh went over to the auction, oh, the English nearly went mad. They wanted the king to intervene, not to allow the books out of London. But Marsh brought them back to Dublin. Stillingfleet was an expert on many things, particularly grass. But then wouldn't you be an expert too, if you had 10,000 volumes to draw on? Isn't that a lovely sight? A mother coot and her two chicks and tea time. The beauty of the Furry Glen and the Glen Pond never fails to thrill me. No matter what time I come here, in the springtime, it's all hawthorn and cherry blossoms. In summer, the ducks, the coots, the water lilies. In autumn, this is a wonderland of countless colours of golden brown and sunlight yellow. And even in winter, when the trees are bare, the snowflakes form their own magic designs and patterns on the trees, and the lake here takes on a shining silver appearance like a skating rink. The polo ball is a most unusual thing. It looks heavy, but it's light. And after a certain amount of play, it gets chipped. And there used to be a goal man with white coat standing at the goal with a little basket. He'd collect all these balls. There'd be dozens of them in it. And I knew a fella that when your man would be looking up the field, he'd knock off a couple. And years after, I said to him, "What did you do with the polo balls?" "Oh," says he, "did you not know?" He says, "They were better than firelighters." To be a good polo player, you have to be a good horseman and a bit of a hockey player. I wonder what way Christy Ring would have played on a horse. This is the 9 acres. This is where the first trade union meeting was held on the 19th of March 1792. In those years they were called combinations. The Parliament in College Green was putting through acts against the workers, and 10,000 of them, down tools, met here in the Phoenix Park in the 9 acres and marched to College Green, handed in the petition, and of course the act went out the window. But then in 1825, the Act came back in, and this led to the breakup of the trade guilds in the 1840s and on to trade unionism as you know it today. Of course, the Gaelic League, the Irish language movement, they held all their pageants and parades here. And the temperance movement, one group on one side of the road holding a meeting to close the pubs on a Sunday, and another meeting the far side of the road to open the pubs on Sunday. At first they tried to drown each other out with music and bands, and then they ended up throwing sods at each other. Of course, during all these parades and meetings, there'd be 200 whiskey tents stretching right across to the 15 acres. So you weren't short of a drop. So you remember during the war years and all the